It's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Hey, we just gonna let me get professional here. Sorry, let me just go ahead and finally he's here and boom, what's up? Welcome back, goddammit, to another edition of Tell Me a Joke, the guy out there chasing the dream. I'm your host, Maniacal, Menace, say the whole thing like a pimp named Slickback. And today, oh my goodness, in this humble abode, it is nice, it is quaint, it is joyous out here. I finally got him on my side. It takes a minute to get to wrangle him up, but put y'all hands together for Mr. Right About Now himself, Amir. There it is.
Thank you. You're too kind. You're too kind.
Yes,
What's happening, Maniacal Menace?
Oh, not much, man. How are you doing, sir?
This is finally happening.
It is. I finally got you here, and I am very excited. It has been a long time coming. And how long have you been doing Right About Now for?
Right about now, we've been doing it over 11 years now.
Wow, 11 years. Did you know it was going to be this when it started off?
No, I never imagined it could even be this or exist this way.
Yeah.
I just wanted a place where I could share poetry, that I vibed with.
Yeah, that's dope. Like, so was your growing up, was it always going to be poetry? Did you know that you was going to do poetry?
Oh, hell no, man.
What was it? So what was your thing?
I'm the children of immigrants.
Uh-huh.
And so when you're the children of immigrants,
yes, sir,
you really have 3 career options, okay?
Yeah.
It's doctor, engineer, or lawyer. And they really don't want you to be a lawyer.
Yeah. You chose neither of those.
No, my father always used to tell me, I said, Dad, I hate math. He said, no, you love math. You love it. More math, more money. More math, more money.
That sounds terrible. I was good at math, but I understood that it was not going to benefit me for the future at all. And you know what? I have to use the hell out of it now. Being an electrician, it's a lot of math, and from time to time I use fractions, and I'm still like, fuck you, fractions.
Wait a minute, you're a licensed electrician?
Certified.
Certified electrician?
Yes, sir.
So you can help me out.
Oh, I definitely could. Yeah.
Oh, for real?
For real.
But that's for another podcast.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, if you're watching this and you need an electrician, book a poet. You know what I mean? Book a comedian.
I could definitely recite some shit as I go ahead and change your lights out.
He's gonna get your wires right. And
yeah.
you might laugh in the process.
That's a possibility. That's a good possibility. That's a good service, Rare.
Yeah, most contractors make you mad.
Yeah.
But you could be someone that.
Yeah, I can get in your attic without falling through as well. I can fit through many small attics.
He's little.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He's gonna get up in there where those big electricians can't.
You're so good with your promotion and being able to like come up with an idea that will stick. Like, has your life always been like that?
Man, what's the worst case scenario?
Yeah. Okay, I feel that.
And like, you can live your life making stuff up and doing it.
Yeah.
And I feel like we do that as children quite a bit,
Right.
But then as adults, you kind of become like this cog in a machine, and you have to meet this end goal all the time, right? But like, you can still make stuff up and do it with your friends and like have fun doing that and live your life that way. Like, Adam Sandler is such a big inspiration to me. Because he makes like blockbuster movies, he puts his friends in them, and he walks around the world in gym shorts and slides.
Yes. That is the life that I look for. That is the life that I strive to have. Just a life to where me and my friends can do our art, and we can make people feel good from it. We can get paid and live a good life, have a good living from it. That's a perfect perspective. Like I've always looked at it like that, but I was never able to like attach it to anything. And so now that you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why can't I have that?
He manifested it, right? So
Yeah.
someone else can too, and so yeah, you can spend your time doing certain things. And so for me, like, I know I can copy and paste and open mic most places.
Yeah.
You know, and it'll be fairly successful, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but there's like this other part of it where it's like creativity and exploration, you know, and kind of feeding that need and that desire. And then also just like figuring out ways to get people excited about engaging with community, building community, engaging with the
Yeah.
arts, you know,
you
and
do a really good job at that.
dude, inspiring an artist to bring like more,
Yeah.
right? You could, the grandma poem,
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Most times it's A tier, right?
yeah.
But it's not always A tier.
No, it's not.
And so sometimes you don't have as good of performances,
I
right?
lost a job because of it last night. Or the
What?
other night, yeah.
What happened?
Well, it was supposed to be an attorney gig, and it was supposed to be for this lady, and it was going to be for her birthday, and she needed. And well, I did a show for Black Snow. I'm not trying to rhyme, but that's what happened. Did a show for Black Snow. He's like, hey man, I got, you know, my such and such, they need a comedian for their birthday. I'm like, okay, cool. And, you know, this person for her 50th birthday 20 years ago had Marcus D. Wiley on there. And I was like, oh, I know who that is. And she was like, yeah, and so, you know, I don't want that. I want something different. I'm like, oh, I'm different. You know, I'm real different. So I was like, I understand, you know, this is going to be for older age range. But, you know, I could talk to the grandmothers. And so I let you see what I got. And, you know, it was all smiles in the beginning. You know, everything was all handshakes, laugh through the whole set, laugh through everything. And as soon as I finished, I did not see them at all. They dipped out so fast. Like, I don't even know if they didn't even get my information to be like, oh yeah, we'll let you know. nah, that was enough said right there. It was like, yeah. Nah, I laid into the grandmothers. I went A plus 100 with grandmothers, and yeah, they didn't.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. I be letting people
But
know.
also
it's not.
sometimes, like, if you don't like that material, but you like the artist, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You can be like, hey, I'm going to hire you, but you can't, like,
Yeah, no, I feel that. You know,
Yeah.
I won't do the grandmothers. I feel
give me a chance.
and everybody's
man.
probably like, man, what is grandmothers like? Well, it's clever.
They were probably bringing
That's-
their grandmothers to the show.
It was nothing but grandmothers there. It would be nothing but grandmothers.
Hey, man,
there.
you don't know how much money that cost you.
I don't. And it was probably a good grip too. So yes, you know those special endeavors that do come every once in a while, and I understand that. I was like, I'm not. This is not gonna be. It's not gonna be. But it is. I'm different. So yeah.
Like, some artists can do every room, right? Some
Right.
artists you want for specific scenarios, right? And so it's important to be able. Some can do
Yeah.
both. Some won't do both.
Right.
You know. You're someone who's, I feel like, is able to do both.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
maybe not that poem.
Yeah, you know, I understand. You know, I sometimes like to, you know, it depending on the theme, especially if it's going to be a theme. Like Kanai wanted to do a tandem poem with me, and she told me at when I was at Four Gents at That Way Poetry with Ano. Yeah,
It's such a fun open mic.
it is a good time. It is a good time. She came, she approached me. She's like, "Hey, we gonna do a poem together, and you're gonna do like a cipher piece and shit." I was like, "Fuck yeah, all right, can I?" And you know, then I hit up. I'm like, "What's the piece gonna be about?" She's like, "Oh, I talked to you about that." I was like, "Yeah, you forgot." She's like, "Ah, you know, my man a little drained." I'm like, "Yeah, I feel you. You know, but what we doing?" She's like, "Well, I wanted you to talk about stinky pussy." And I was like, "Oh, really? Is that for real?" She's like, "Yeah, stinky pussy." I'm like, "Oh, well, if you're serious about that, I've already started." So,
Really?
Oh,
Unreleased.
yeah. Well, no,
You keeping it sealed right now.
Well, I have a few things. I got an erectile dysfunction poem that I think it's going to be the next grandmother's. You know, it might be.
Really?
I mean, that's what from around the water cooler. That's what they've been.
Is that the prequel to the grandma?
Niggas is getting old. The shit don't work no more. It's a fun play on words, basically. There's a piece in it that talks about because it's erectile dysfunction. So it's like I forgot. I showed up like I forgot to set my clocks for daylight savings time. I came too early. So if you just understand that, when you're like, oh yeah, because you can't hold it up. So it's a whole bunch of stuff like that that makes you think, and it's just like, oh, this was fun. This is fun. But also, you're talking about the plight of your dick not working, and it's like, yes, I am. So, back onto the vein of we gonna divide some people in this audience again and see how they like who's really taking the blue chews and
Dude, I'd love to see you do the grandma poem from the grandma's perspective, as a response.
Yo,
yeah.
See, this is why Amir makes the big dollars.
That'd be so fun.
Yo,
man.
it never occurred to me in my mind to even think about the grandmother's perspective. That is I've never put myself in those socks. It's just, you set it up. Just.
But I think that would be funny as hell.
I think so too.
Like what direction you go with that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Now I'm gonna have to go back, put a pin in that. I'm gonna have to go back and definitely and you reshape the mold of how a grandmother would look at a YN. Just came poo shiestied up. What this little young nigga about to do to me? We don't know. He won't blow your back out though, Grandma. That's what he wants to do. So it's like, yeah, get prepared. I definitely, yeah. I'm thinking of reins a bit or something like that. Some type of horse style. You know what? This is the grandmothers from a YN's perspective, and I don't. Anyway. You've opened so many doors in my mind.
Sounds like a novella now.
This plant was a good touch.
Oh my god, dude. Plant's such a fun guy, dude. Like, yeah, he's ready to party.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it so the bulbous can. Yeah, it is. It is perfect. How did you know that Avant was gonna be the place? Was Avant the first place when you started Juan?
Yeah.
Really? Whoa.
Oh, damn, dude.
He got those slick pants on.
Let me grab this.
Good. Yeah, that is like usually venues, so they must love their Wednesdays. Yeah.
So, I'm from College Station, Texas.
Okay.
And so I was living there.
My company is all through there.
I had a contract job for biochemistry department. Is like an editor and grant writer that ended. And so I got a job offer from Houston Methodist Hospital in Houston. And so I took it, and I told my best friend, he lives here.
Yeah.
At the time, his name's Gibby Sawtell. So Gibby had lived here, and Gibby and I, man, we grew up together. Our lockers were always by each other because his last name's Sawtell, my last name's Safi.
Gibby, first name Gibby, last name Sawtell.
Sawtell, yeah.
Oh.
And so when Gibby found out I was moving to Houston, he said, "Move in with me."
Yeah.
And it's really like an awesome gesture at the time because he was living with his fiance Megan, you know, and so I moved in with them, and you know how big Houston is.
Yes.
They ended up living 3 minutes from my job.
Oh.
It took me longer to drive up the parking garage than it did to drive to work. Which is that's like a unicorn in the city, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I lived with them for a couple months, and they were engaged to be married, and so the wedding venue they were getting married at was Avant Garden.
Ah, it is nice.
So when I
it's a
moved
place
to
get
Houston,
married.
I was actually burnt out on poetry.
Really?
And I didn't want to organize anymore. I just wanted to like be a career person.
Really?
You know? Yeah, because you know how it is,
Trying to
man.
throw
With
away that
art, you
calling.
give art, like you give and you give and
Yeah.
you give to it, and sometimes you yourself aren't good at like balancing what that looks like.
Yeah.
And so it takes away from like other aspects of your life.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I want to kind of stop giving to this aspect,
Yeah.
you know, and try to take care of the other parts of my life.
Right.
And so it didn't last long. And so he goes, come check out Avant Garden. You should do a poetry show here. And I
Yeah.
said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like,
Yeah.
well, come check it out because it's where the wedding's happening and you're in it. You know? So
Right.
I go to go check it out. He introduces me to Mariana, the owner.
Yeah.
And the
Such a
first thing
nice
he
person.
said is, this guy used to, Mariana is great.
Yeah.
There aren't many shows that have been in a place for 11 years.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of our favorite places, they move around.
Right.
But so as soon as he introduces me to her, he says, Amir used to run the biggest poetry shows in our hometown, and I'm telling him he should do shows here.
Yeah.
And then she says, oh, I would love poetry here. We used to have poetry here for more than 10 years. All the
What?
vampires would come out and read their poems, you know?
Legit vampires.
At Avant Garden, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And so
I've seen their circus acts there.
that's another podcast
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And so, you know, she gave me the night I wanted, the time I wanted to support, love, space I needed, you
such
know?
a great night too.
And so our first show was, but I knew less than 5 people in Houston. So I organized shows in my hometown, but this isn't my hometown, you
Yeah.
know, this is my new town. And so the first show is on my birthday, February 26th, 2014. And so I put it on my birthday so people would show up to it.
Come on.
And so we were upstairs. And
Yeah.
so that was the first Right About Now event.
Upstairs in
Yeah.
that quaint little room up
Yeah,
there.
little room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, if you haven't been to a Right About Now on a rainy day, oh my goodness, do check it out. That room gets packed with nothing but just love in there. They do got some of the psychos. They do got some psychos too there, but other than that, oh my goodness,
Depending on the night you go,
depending on
for
the
sure.
night, yeah, you be like, oh, hold on,
You know, every
You are in
community
here with this?
needs a little psychotic,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
in
just
it.
to snap people
Just
to
a little
reality.
bit.
Be like, hey, you
Yeah,
vigilant.
you're
you know?
still in the real world.
yeah. So how long would y'all? How long before it moved down to the big space?
Man, that's a good question. It wasn't too long. I was always reticent to move it to a bigger space
Yeah.
because I understood, like, you know, upstairs
power of
is like
poetry.
it's like a punk rock show sometimes, you know.
Yeah, it is.
It keeps all of it in the room. It's a
Yeah.
small space. When you go
It's
outdoors,
grimy.
it dissipates. So,
Yes.
so the show
Yes.
has to be constantly, you have to feed back into the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just keep it in there.
Oh, that energy. Yeah, I be letting people know, man, that the energy of certain things, especially the type of energy that a poet could bring, especially if it's gonna be always that one type of that could suck everything out of a room, right? I mean, it's still a good
Right,
vibe. It's still a
right.
good vibe because everybody's locked in that moment. But you know, you do want that refresher. You know, it's like that circulation of air is that outside. Like once you, because I've never seen it like when I came here 5 years ago in 2020. Like I was just looking for poetry, and you know, I've been to the Poetry Lounge in LA, and I was like, oh, this is dope. And that's when I saw mass amounts of people that came for poetry, and I was like,
Yeah,
I
they're one of the grails in the country. Like if
Yeah.
someone wants to go check out like the best spoken word scenes in the country,
Yeah.
like I feel like that the one in LA is definitely one of them.
man, lying around the corner, you know. And I was like, and that's where I met like my crew that I kind of like hung out with. I would always go show up there, but you know, being there, that's when I knew I was different because you know, everywhere I go, I always stand out, and it being there and showing them eyebrows, and it was just like, what is this? And then from there, I went to other secret shows and other shit, and I was like, yo, what is poetry doing? I didn't know. I had no idea. I tell people that come on here that be like, yo, I watched Juan when I was little, and I was like, you been watching this for that long? It's like, what? Yeah, I used to watch it in high school, and you know, I remember Zach, and I remember Amir and I. I'm like, am I a part of something like this? Like, I have no idea until people start saying that, and I'm like, holy shit, this is big. This is huge big. Like, this is, and to say that you were like, I don't want to do this shit no more. Yo. And you just sit there with the humblest look on your face, like, hey, I need you, man, to say that your platform, what you have, to say that it's grown so much in the years that it has, like, this is something that it excites me to see, because it ensures me that the arts aren't dying, you know, shit can still flourish, you know, because I've been really disappointed with comedy lately, and it's just to see where this poetry and everything is going. Like, was it always right about now?
No, before Right About Now is Mic Check. So when I was in college, I ran a free open mic every year for 2 years for free.
Yeah.
And at first, it was the first show I did, man. It was me and one other poet, my bestie, man, Chris Call.
Yeah.
And so me and Chris, man, we read poems till we ran out of poems.
Yeah.
And then we just started finding our favorite poems and reading those to fill the whole night.
Yeah.
And so there were maybe 4 people if you count the bartender, you know? And so there's no one there, but we're like, we're going to do a poetry night. And so if no one wants to read, you know,
if you build it, they will come, though.
That's how you got started. That's the energy it takes, you know. And today, there's some mics I don't even need to get on the mic, you know. No. I'm literally taking the space of someone else who would be on the mic. But when I first started, man, if I didn't read, like, you know, multiple poems, we couldn't even fill a night. And so it's a good problem, what we call good problems. And so when I was a college student, I started Texas Grand Slam Poetry Festival. Yeah. That was a way to fund the poetry night I was doing for free. And so in Bryan, Texas, I would have over 1,000 people come out some years to watch poetry. And so for me, like, I'm Iranian American, okay? So I'm a minority without access to a community, really. You know, you don't see that many Iranians in Bryan College Station. There's more in Houston, but it's not like in Iran, right? You know, white communities, they can find communities. Brown community, Mexican communities, you know, you can find Mexican people in communities. Black community, you can find black communities in Houston, right? But Iranian community, it's a lot harder to find, like, your people, you know? Yeah. And so for me, like, art and poetry, like, if you can sit through a whole poetry show, you're a certain kind of person. You can listen to all those perspectives and all those philosophies and all those stories, you know. You have been hardened. And so first it was like, one, like, where's an Iranian going to get platformed in America? So what's the platform I go to? You know, where's my Huffington Post? Where's my CNN? Where are my literary journals? Yeah. So Right About Now, in a sense, came from, like, a necessity. Like, when I lived in College Station, man, I used to go drive 4 hours round trip, sometimes multiple times a month, to go to Austin to perform at their poetry slams. Yeah. Because their poetry slams would have, like, over 200 people out the door lined up to get in. Yeah. And so I understand just, like, that need for a stage, that need to just have a chance to share your voice. Yeah. You know, most places you can't just write your name and then have access to an audience. And in today's world, a big audience, because a lot of our live streams even are reaching over 10,000 viewers. Crazy. You know? And so you may think, oh, I'm performing. There may be 50 people in that poetry room for us, you know, but you're really performing in front of thousands of individuals that night, right?
So many. Yeah, this was the perfect spot as well. This breeze, this little wind tone that we got going on.
Oh my God, so lovely.
You were right. You were right. I figured it was but yes, the masses that you reach now, and like it makes me more nervous now because I'm more aware. In the beginning, I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, I just want look. I'm different, and I want to show these words. I want to express these words and show and see if anybody vibes with my differentness. And when people did, I was like, oh fuck yeah, all right, cool. So I'm not as you know, taken aback from the world as I thought I was. And then, you know, as things progress, I'm like, cool. And then as you see the people that really have that it factor that come on that stage, that's the people that I gravitate towards. And I'm like, all right. And so, but now that I see it from the perspective of like, you know, having an audience of so many people, like I look like I have to go on stage and be like, just imagine everybody's in their underwear, you know, like I have to do that a little bit now, just because in the beginning it wasn't that, but now it's just like, oh shit, this is really big shit. Now it makes me even more nervous now.
when you're in it, it's hard to see the cultural cachet you're building. Yeah, you know, like you said, some people have been watching this now since they were kids, and for me, like, always look to why it exists. So why it exists is people always told me poetry had to be in front of like a whiteboard or a classroom. You had to have a degree for it to be worthy.
Really? But I've always thought that. Not that, but I've always thought it had to be, you know, somebody sitting in a speakeasy on a beanbag somewhere with incense flying and everybody, And I thought that's what poetry, and I was like, what is it? You know, Deaf Poetry Jam? I'm like,
Dude, I love that you say that, because like there's all these preconceived notions that poetry gets to battle, you know what I mean? In the world, like there's a bunch of people who this kind of feeds into the point of like they feel like it is what their perception is. And so for me, like I would see these great performances like your grandmother poem, right? And I'd go tell my friends, and like I couldn't say it or deliver it like you, obviously, you know. And so they'd just kind of look at me, and sometimes they would like get it, you know, but they couldn't understand it. So then it was like, let's put this on a camera. And so like part of that is like, let's say we take away the people who are the arbiters of value or worth or quality, and we say, you show up to this thing that you just participate in, do the thing that you like to do and love to do, and we're going to just show it directly to the world. And that way no one's saying this is valuable, this is not valuable, you are worthy, you are not worthy, you don't have to get a degree, you know what I mean, you don't have to like be a certain person or a certain size person. Like the art you create is valuable because you create it, you know, is worthy because you create it. So what are the organic ways to amplify those voices, especially today? Look at all even the platforms I have to share on, you know what I mean? Look at all the censorship going on every which way, you know? So I think like spaces like this, live spaces especially, where you can go hear these perspectives without someone flagging it or like saying this is good or bad or whatever, letting you hear it and you decide how you want to feel about it, right?
Yeah. Because you've been doing this for quite some time, I actually went into the comments section on one of the last show on Wednesday. And I was fresh into the comments before you usually do whatever you do to mine, because it's usually beautiful in there. You can scroll through some things, but that's usually towards the middle. I caught it towards the beginning, and something stuck with me, and I want to throw that out there. I want to throw it out there because it was the perfect joke. against me. You know, I've always waited for somebody, because everybody online, especially after eyebrows and shit, motherfuckers like, fuck you with your Anthony Hamilton beard and shit. And I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that. That's pretty good. But I've heard that before. You know, motherfucker, you small. You ain't, you know, your eyebrows ain't shit. Who's the motherfucker up there in a Disney bucket hat? I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I love my bucket hat. But, you know, cool. Those are okay. Yeah, I mean, they could have been better. After I did my Luther Vandross, poem up there, I came down and I looked at the comments, and I seen one of the comments said, "Oh shit, Kant Williams," and I was like, "Oh shit," and they spelled it Kant with a K. And I was like, yo, the cleverness and the layers of that, it took me out. I was like, bitch, this is good. All right. And it was so fast. And I've never heard anyone tell me that before. Because I've already, you know, people come on, oh, look, Cat Williams and everything. Yeah, funny. You know, but this right here, to say that, oh, nigga, you whatever you're doing, I don't like it. It sucks. Fuck you. But also, you remind me of Cat Williams. And I don't think you can do this. Cat Williams. I was like, you son of a bitch. This is good. I wanted to fucking, I pointed out, I showed Anno. I was like, look at that. And he was like, oh, and I was like, don't do that. Calm down. That ain't that. I mean, it was good though. He got.
Yeah, dude, you can't be telling people a diss like that. You can't be telling.
It was really good.
It's
sticky. It was. I was like, that's all right. So you know, now the world knows. Boom. That's the one you can use if you oh, little Cat Williams out there. Little Cat Williams is just a dig in the side, and then you turn the knife a bit. Just like, oh, bitch, you got me. All right, I got you. I love that though. Like sometimes you need to see something like that.
Man, dude, the arts world will humble you over and over and over again, man. It don't matter if you're the best. No. Someone gonna say something.
No, that came from Blood Farts. So I doubt that he'd probably ever come around ever again. But that was his username, Blood Farts.
He's got bigger problems.
yeah, he does. He came on specifically just to troll, and he had what it was so fast. It's like it was in the chamber. It was like he was ready for a person like me of a Cat Williams status to be like, I can't wait. The next person that tries to even portray somebody, and I don't try, it's just me, and like, I'm gonna hit him with this one. And yeah, you know, if I wouldn't have went to the comments, I would have never saw it.
Dude, sometimes most of the time they're good, sometimes they're not good. You know, it really just like depends. Sometimes they say the truth. No one in the audience will say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just malicious. You know, you really get every which way in the comments.
How when did the influx start? Do you remember when it happened? Like when things really started to take the fuck off?
Dude, it feels like it's still like slowly growing. Yeah, I know that's like weird, you know, to say, but it feels like of it. Yeah. So I'll tell you, the very first poem that popped off was "Ode to Whataburger." Yeah. So that was the one where like we saw it go to multiple news outlets and really start picking up a lot. And
was it silly?
"Ode to Whataburger"? Yeah, man. Whataburger called me. They're like, "What do you want?"
I've never heard the Ode to Whataburger.
You never heard Ode to Whataburger? No. Oh yeah, man, that's a classic. And so it got picked up by every major media publication in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that's the first one. But then like there's some poems like Friends with Benefits from Jay Nichelle. That poem really took off. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Kylie Janae Lacey, her white privilege piece really took off and reached a lot of news outlets. But there's so many poems that like would reach these news outlets, and I would solicit a lot of them. I would email them, and I'd go find people who publish similar works. I'd say, hey, here's a poem. It's similar to something else you published, you know, check it out. You know, I would try to get poets on different lists that we were publishing. And so I did a lot of that back end logistics. And so like, I'm constantly like back there tinkering, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
you're
so
a tinkerer. I see it.
It feels like the thing is like I don't really celebrate where we're at very much because I look at where we could be and where we're going, and like I keep like a lot of my focus there because like think about it from like just an online content perspective, right? We're filming 6 hours a week at minimum.
Yeah.
Every single week for over 10 years.
Yeah.
You know.
That's content.
And so the issue is we can't get to it all. So I'm really excited about a world where we like build the capacity.
Yeah.
Because video is a cost center for us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like for you putting in your time right here. When you go release this, you're not like getting rich out of these podcasts. This is a joy for you.
Yes.
So same thing with us. We view ourselves as like documentarians. You know, so we want to capture the art of the times as it's happening.
Exactly.
But it's not a revenue generator for us.
No.
So for us to share this content, you know, it takes time and money to release it into the world.
Okay.
And so I look forward to continuing to grow this organization in meaningful ways so we can, because I think we could release content every hour, every day if we wanted to, like nonstop.
And that's what people consume regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's really cool about the internet is like work like ours, we're aging into.
Yes.
Because think about it, it's all about shorts, you know, conversation, storytelling. Like that's really what goes off. Trends, dancing, you know, sound bites are huge. You know, just think
Opus clips that lets me clip these. I get excited
right
when I generate that. And that's the only thing. Hey, I use AI, but I'm like, this is helpful. Like for them, and then like from there.
So explain what you're doing.
Basically, what I'm doing. Once after I edit this, I when I have it on YouTube, I go to Opus Clips, and it's a clip editing software or service that it uses the power of AI to take the clips that I have and chop them up into segments, and they rate them, they grade them. They also give me a synopsis, a little summary of what was talked about, and it gives me like 30 little clips, and I just run through those. And myself going through these conversations, I don't know what we talk. You're my third or second person today. So what we've talked about is kind of hard for me to be like, oh, this is, you know, once we leave here, I'm definitely not, this is pretty good. But it's usually difficult for me to remember. No.
You one of my hoes.
No, it's just so much.
3 today.
It's so much going through my head. It's just like, you know, the certain key points, they all kind of form together. And so, you know, that's one of the things. So when I do put that in the machine and it does what it does and it pops out, I get excited too. I'm like, oh shit, we talked about that. Oh bitch, this is good. Like the last one I put out with the Opus Clips was Roro, and like the clips that I chose, there was like 10 clips and all of them were like really good. And so it's like, well, how do I break down and choose which clip to choose? And I was like, I don't realize that I'm having these like compelling, hilarious conversations until these clips come out. And I'm like, yo, this is really good. And then people come up to me on the street and be like, hey man, y'all are food, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo. And everything looks so genuine, as if I hang out with that person all the time. And it's just like, nah, this is the first time I've actually got to sit down and talk with you like this. And so they all come out and they be like, and so I understand why the podcast grows. Like, share, subscribe, do whatever the fuck you gotta do. But still, you know, I understand why it continues to grow. But I'm also like, who the fuck is looking? You know, it doesn't. It's so strange to me.
Anybody.
Yeah. It shows where that anybody is too, and I'm like, yo, y'all are out there in New Zealand and shit. Crazy.
We live in a future.
Yeah,
it's an amazing place.
Yeah,
for an artist to be able to. Because when I first started doing open mics, man, the iPhone didn't even have video.
And now we got some of the best cameras on our phone.
Man, when we first started promoting. You gotta print the flyers. Man,
god damn. Go back to stone and chisel and shit.
Go
Jesus.
put thumbtacks and cork boards.
Yeah.
Tape on windows.
Yeah, out there flyering for real.
You got a belt loop for your staple gun. Yeah, man.
My friend caught a charge for a staple gun out there trying to fly out. For real. Yeah.
Caught a charge for a staple
Fuck
gun?
yeah. Motherfucker called the police on his silly ass. It's like, you dummy. Yeah, I don't think he brandished it or nothing like that, but he was outside with the staple gun doing his thing, and then he probably got
Could
into
you
altercation
imagine a
with
cop
somebody.
walking up on you and you
Yeah.
with the staple
Drop
gun?
the staple gun. God damn it, drop the staple gun. I'm sorry, it's not loaded, officer.
Man, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah. A little bit. Fucked him over for a good little minute. He had to spend a lot of money on that. I was like, Bess, you ain't gonna do that dumb shit no more, huh? He was like, yeah, I've learned a lesson.
What was he doing?
I don't know. It wasn't something smart. I mean, he was out there. He was firing.
Was he holding people
with a
up
staple.
with the
He wasn't doing that, but he did get into an altercation with somebody, and he did have this staple gun with him, on him, in his presence, somewhere. I don't know, but staple gun. It's got gun in the name. Don't fuck around with it, So.
Can't even carry around a staple gun no more, man.
Hell no. And he's white, so,
We are in an open carry state.
Yeah, true that. Right. So
he
you
should
never
be
know
able
what
to-
somebody can have.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. He learns his lesson every now and then. Well, he drives a Prius. I think he got rid of it, but that just tells you about the person that it is. How often do you write, and where do you like to write?
Man, I try to write a little bit each week. I don't
Okay.
get into it, but it should be more.
Yeah.
If you want to be a better writer, it's
Yeah.
like a lot of people in our world, especially, right? They say they're a writer or a poet, right?
Mm.
Okay, now let's do a comparison for it. Okay, let's say I'm a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Man, how often you go to the
How
gym?
often you go to the gym?
15 minutes a week. You know what I mean? I don't go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
So same thing with writing and poetry.
Yeah.
Right now, for me, like a big thing that's taken up a lot of my time has been like the shows.
Yeah. I
'Cause
can
there's-
imagine. I can only imagine.
There's
Yeah.
been such a demand, and so when
Yeah.
we're in 8 cities, right? 9 cities, 10 cities, like that time has to come from somewhere.
Crazy.
And so a lot of that time comes from my individual writing.
Yes.
There are a lot of great people that can light up a mic right now. You know what I mean? But there's a lot less places for them to do it.
Yeah.
And so when I look at how like my role in the community and my capacity and what I can do, I see platform building is like a gift, that I have, and something that will help build us kind of the fastest. And as a writer, the way I look at it is I can always write,
Right.
I can always share my perspective and thoughts.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good when you space it out. And so most of that time's been coming from my own writing. When I do like to write, man, honestly, like this isn't good for like a healthy sleep schedule, right?
No,
But I
okay.
love that 3 a.m. poetry muse.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be asleep, and
Yeah.
then the poem is like, "Hey, nigga, we need to come out now."
Now.
And it's like, "Yeah, I
Now.
can't. I got work in 2 hours. Can I not? No. This is gonna be gold." And then grandmother's comes, and it's like, "Motherfucker!"
Yeah.
So when it calls, and I have to answer.
Yeah.
Like there's something compelling inside of me. Like it has been so hard these past few years not being able to be out and be on a stage somewhere, just because I'm trying to do the right thing by family. So it's like this is what it's supposed to be. But not being able to do what I do sounds like such a narcissistic thing to be thinking when it's like, "Nigga, this your family." And it's like, no, I don't give up on family. But, my dad told me, he was like, "Man, it's just like people that go golf. You like to golf, huh? Go golfing. Why don't you go golf? You ain't got to stop golfing just because, you have a family. You can still golf." And it's like, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just got to pick your...
Yeah.
You may not be able to say yes to everything,
Right.
But you just got to kind of pick your
Yes, exactly.
outings, and
Yeah.
schedule it. Yeah, but you get to build that schedule too. You don't have to
Right.
decide that overnight. And
Right.
yeah,
I was very conflicted about how to go about that. Never had to do it before, so it was just like, I don't know how to go about it. And it was just like, fuck it, I'll just I'll just stay away, and that made my brain itch. And it's like, no, I need to do something with these words. They like the thoughts that I have. I need to express this to others, just because I don't know whatever's inside me saying this needs to be done. Then when I do it, I'm like, oh, that was why. That was why this touched a whole bunch of people. So I'm like, oh, okay. Until I get to do it, it's just something that it's always on me. I fester in it. I'm like, I gotta.
It's good to figure out ways to stay engaged too that work around your life and your schedule. Like for me, like even when I'm not writing, like if I'm like going to a show or putting on a show or working a show, it kind of keeps you in the arena, without leaving it, without necessarily like being in it or doing it.
I'm still on the grounds.
Right.
Walking the perimeter.
Yeah. And I've been another thing I like to do, sometimes I'll play a beat in the car and I'll just talk into my voice recorder on a drive somewhere.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I just like, just make stuff up or start talking about stuff. And sometimes that's a really good way to like write something. Writing prompts are typically some of the best things. I
love a good writing prompt.
It's hard to always create like the concept and the content. And so writing prompts kind of take you out of like the concept or putting as much effort into that. And then you can be more content oriented. And so that's always nice.
I should be more acceptable to writing prompts. I have had, I was in a community out in LA where they gave out emails and writing prompts, and like I've written a few great things from a writing prompt. Actually, Luther Vandross' Love is a writing prompt. So like I do like to practice the pen from time to time. Like I got a partner that actually he's doing a tour with somebody that sings. He's Nutty Piper. Shout out. Hopefully I can get him. But I was, how like certain artists get like comedians or whatnot to come do like a little excerpt on their album and everything. I've done 2 of those, and those are fun. I was like, oh, I got something with this writing thing here. As a comedian, and thinking that all I have is comedy. Like I'd never really thought that to venture into other things until the opportunity was presented to me. Like I would never just be like, oh, I want to go do this now, or I want to go try this. I'm always skeptic about the ideas that my brain comes with until it's like offered to me. Then I'm like, oh, okay, let's see what it is. You have the tinkerer's mind.
Comedy a lot of times comes from a place of immense vulnerability. Like, and I think a good example is like Kevin Hart when he talks about his dad. That's traumatic, but we're rolling and laughing, know, and it's where you like open yourself up to being okay for people to know these vulnerable things about you, or like, embracing things that the world would tell you have to be ashamed of. And so as like an artist or a storyteller, right? Yeah. You can really mix that.
That's hence why I actually wrote a piece about erectile dysfunction. Just because it's silly to me, but also to touch on some serious shit. Like, because it is a thing that people don't talk about. And it's just like, well, if I could take my perspective of this and do what I do with it to bring like awareness to it, like, because I've noticed like certain things that I do talk about because of how I feel, but also the reaction I get from other people, and it's like, oh, I didn't that did that to you. Okay, I wasn't writing it for that, but now that I know that this can do that, I'm gonna continue to do what I've been doing because it makes me feel good, and it's like, oh, this is good. So yeah, it's silly, but also it's something that people don't talk about, and it's a thing. Blue Chew is a thing. It's like there's shit out here for you. If you're all in your mind, if you need mental health or something like that. It's just the ways I like to go about talking about it. I've always been that way. The things that are little, I guess, shied away from, or things that people don't like to talk about, I like to bring it up. But I bring it up in a silly way, to where it's like, oh, I'm comfortable with talking about this now. You know, so I guess that's how my brain works. You know, yeah, it's touchy, but how touchy? Did it tickle you? Type of touchy? That's good then. That's alliterations are fun too. The way my brain works, man, you make it come out of me, Amir. It's a good time. How do you know when your poem is done?
So you know how you write something and you're asking people, what do you think? What do you think? It's not done.
Oh.
Because you went,
Oh.
because when it's done, you're like, yo,
Check this out.
I just whipped this shit up in the kitchen and you about to eat this.
Yeah.
And you about to say, can I have another plate?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's when it's done.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a... All right.
So when you feel that way, because there's some things I can't tell you anything about.
Yeah.
You'll be like, Mir, sit down.
Yeah.
I done this piece. Hell no, I'm not taking that part out.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But there's some where you'll be like, oh yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Because it feel like something missing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a. I like to ask this question now just to see where people's thoughts go and to see how they go about finishing the piece. Like, I be from my perspective, it's like you feel it. You know, it's not like, yeah, this is over. Or, like, there's some people that write a beginning and an end and they have a middle and all that, and this is how it's going to end. There's no going over this or anything like that. Boom, this is what it is. But with me, it's like, I don't feel it. I don't feel that this is done. I feel that I need to add more to this. You know, and so I always, every time I do write, and I do have a poem, and I'm like, all right, there you go. There's a skeletal structure of a poem, and then I go back in it and I fill the bones with meat and shit, and I'm like, well, now we need to go ahead and put some more, beef them up, you know, yeah, because it's never done till I'm like, oh, okay, now I can be done with this. Now it's an adult.
So like a real interesting like difference between comedy and poetry. Comedy, you start with the end. Poetry start with the beginning. Right. So usually comedy, you had the punchline,
Right.
and then you go back and write to build to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you start with, this is how I want the joke to.
Right.
With poetry, you start with like the inspiration, or a lot of
Yeah.
times like the first line or a line, you know.
Yeah.
And then that line's where you begin, and then you write it. And so sometimes you get at the end, right?
Right.
And you don't know how to finish it. Just like with comedy, sometimes you get to the
You got the punchline,
but you don't know how to start it.
Yeah.
Right? And so that'll be the difference. Sometimes, man, it's like I'll write this whole thing out in an hour.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much done. Some things I'll go back and I'll edit for years. You know what I mean? Just years go back. I don't like that. Or I may edit that. And then it really just like, you know, depends on the piece and what it's saying and what it demands, you know?
Yeah. I've actually, the first time I've actually went back and rewrote something just because the way I had it the first time, it didn't match up because I lost a slam to this girl out in LA, and she wrote a piece and I had a piece that I wanted to match hers, but it wasn't up to par. Like it just didn't hold up to what she had. She had a tearjerker like that. It brought me. I was like, ooh, man, that's good. God damn. All right, cool. All right. So I was like, I need that, and I feel like a chameleon when it comes to me doing anything. I can kind of adapt to just about anything real easy. And so I wrote I had the piece that I wrote. I took it, rewrote it, and just beefed it up, and it ain't easy being a black man. And that was like one of the first ones where I was like, oh, this really went somewhere around, especially around that time. Like it kind of like took off on YouTube and shit, but I didn't know how to promote myself like I did. But that was the first one where I really put a lot into it. And like that was a piece to where I was like, oh, there was more to this. Like there's no need to give up on one thing just because you think it's done, you know. And that sounds I almost said something stupid. But yeah, like you can always go back, look at that, and revise and rework, and then beef it up and make it to something that you would like. Just because it's a part of you. That's you. That's you right there. Go ahead and express those feelings. It felt good. It felt good to have where it is now, and now I know it's done because it's all over the internet now. It's like
yeah. And at the same time, there will be poems you'll never look at again.
No.
Because there's no need to, and you have no desire to, and you never will. And so, yeah, totally.
How long have you been writing for?
Since I was in like intermediate school. Yeah. They had like a school publication. You got to submit a poem, and they I submitted, I got published, made me feel good.
What?
Yeah.
Everybody has a type of story like that.
Yeah, man. That's why literacy programs in school is important. Are important. Getting people engaged with writing, making them think their stories, their perspectives matter. It matters.
Oh, I've never had. They've always, and I hated writing because I didn't care to read. So, but until I was compelled to write something in a creative writing class. Then that's when I understood. And like, oh, because I like stories, never-ending story. Like, boom, you read it to me, I love it. I'm with it. I enjoyed that, and I could write stories like that. If it was for me to write it, I would write my own stories like that. But I never wanted to like participate in anything of the sort, just because I'm like, well, who's gonna care about what I'm saying? I don't talk about Martin Luther King. I'm gonna talk about these werewolves and these vampires.
Yeah. No, yeah, I vibe with that. The way I kind of look at it is, so like soccer's the most watched sport in the world. Mm. The reason it's the most watched sport in the world is because it's the most played sport in the world. Okay. The reason why it's the most played sport in the world is you need 4 rocks and a plastic ball to play it. You can play it on sand. You can play it in grass. You can play it on the sidewalk. You can play it anywhere. You can make anywhere a soccer. So when you make something accessible to the most people, and then you have it be the most played or watched thing, and then if you go look at who has the highest athlete salaries in the world, it's the elite soccer players.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Well, why? Because it's the most watched sport in the world. Because it's the most participated sport in the world. Because fundamentally, it's the most accessible. So now look at language. How accessible is language? How many people speak language or have a language, right?
Yeah.
And so if you make that accessible and you potentially gamify it, you could talk about the most participated and most watched, highest salaries. So you see how like infrastructure goes into like building those opportunities. Mm-hmm. So like in Texas, football is like, it's like football church of God.
Texas love their football.
You know why? You literally just need one football to play football.
Yeah.
There's like a park somewhere, you can play two-hand touch. You already know, man. And then it's free when you're in middle school.
Yeah.
And it's free through high school to play. They got the boosters. They got all the opportunities. So if you create those opportunities in like poetry or comedy, more people would have access to it because more people know how to speak or write or talk than do any sport.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an infrastructure issue.
Holy shit.
So imagine like, how in school they have speech and debate?
Yeah.
A lot of them like rehearse poetry anyway.
Yeah. So
Biden, why not just have...
he was a stutterer.
So why not just have poetry as a competition in speech and debate? What would that do for opportunities, access, engagement, recruitment? Yeah. So it's just about taking things that already exist and normalizing them and making them part of the... Yeah.
You have an amazing mind, Amir. And it's something that everybody, but it's just not. I don't. It's because I never thought about it like that.
I live this life and I get hit by so many roadblocks every which way. Like the kids in UIL will email us for permission to like perform a piece, and they'll say, "Is this published?" It's like, what do you mean? Is it published? You saw it through a published video online, right? But is just even like their definitions are antiquated. So when they ask me about published, is this published in like a book? Does this have an ISBN? That's what they're looking for. But it's online.
Right.
So it's published.
Yeah.
So you should be able to use it. But that's not the definitions they go by. So just...
If you want to put a lawyer behind this.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's just like you get kind of defined into these boxes, and that determines like the success or trajectory of whatever you're doing. And so you either have to redefine the box or create something so successful that it changes the box, or you have to break the box, but you cannot stay like within the box.
Get out of the box, man.
Yeah.
What's in the box? Don't worry about what's in the box. Get out the box.
Get out of it.
Fuck it.
It's trying to keep
outside
you in
the box. Yeah.
That's why they tell you to think outside the box.
Hell of an elaborate way to be like, you got to think outside the box, man. Yes, sir. That's why you're a poet.
Dude, no, I just even think like with arts and just city transformation in general. So why don't we have a 50-foot statue of Beyonce that says "Welcome to Houston"? Why isn't there a Beyonce museum where you can go see Destiny's Child, her growing up?
Yeah.
Maybe her childhood home could be the museum. Maybe it's its own complex. How many people do you think would come visit the museum and the statue of one of the most popular artists, maybe the most in the world? Or like, how Chicago has a big bean?
No.
So in Millennium Park in Chicago, they got this big metal bean. Like it's a bean.
It's a bean.
And people, it's like a mirror. So people go take a picture. It's chromed out.
Yeah.
So imagine if we had something giant, like a giant swanga, chromed out.
No, okay. Now
how many people would go visit that?
Yeah.
Or like, you ever see the Lizzie McGuire movie?
Yeah.
In Rome, they go visit the Trevi Fountain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Imagine a giant Roman fountain that's Meg the Stallion themed with like horses jumping out of it and stuff.
WAP everywhere. Huh?
Listen.
Yo.
So you can leverage
I love the way your mind.
Dude, you can leverage. Are you a Wes Anderson fan or no?
Okay, you start rattling some things off, and I can be like, yeah or nay.
Okay. So just from that answer, I'll probably say not like the. He just released The Phoenician. The Phoenician's on HBO.
Yeah, no, okay, I know what you know.
So he has like a style of movies, and
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I am interested in that. I have not gotten into it.
Yeah, so I think like if this is one of the most successful directors, producers, movie makers in the world, like make a movie theater themed by him, designed by him in your city.
Ooh.
That shows new showings and his movies, so like for example, Houston isn't just like a big city, I feel like it's a cultural trendsetter, and you'll see like our city uplift arts in certain ways. But like for example, something I get frustrated with is like in front of the new museum, they get the guy who made the bean in Chicago to make a bean in Houston.
That's why. Why don't you get somebody from Houston to do something from Houston?
No one visits that bean. The one in Chicago has tourists every day. You'll go by yourself, and you can take a picture by yourself at the Houston Bean. No one goes to it. You don't even know. It's called like the Space Needle or something like that. Yeah, man, you don't even know there's a bean. That's what I'm saying. Or like, but would you know about a 50-foot chromed out Beyonce statue?
Yes.
It's Cowboy Carter or whatever.
Fuck
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and if there was a swinger down in fucking downtown
dude,
Houston,
you would know about
I would definitely go check that out.
You go take your kid. You know what I mean? You go check that stuff out. And so like, I feel like, like George Bush, when you leave the airport, they got those balls that are lit up. Those things look terrible during the day, man. They don't even look that good at night. It's like, come on, man. Like, we spent money on this. We got fake Mount Rushmore. We got the fake Washington Monument, and it's like, Houston, you have so many artists. You don't think if you
for
said
real.
Beyonce, I want to create this, but then here's something else you got to think about. When you create that art, it creates tourism.
Yeah.
Those tourists, when they're in your city, they got to spend dollars doing
I want to
everything.
go see the Beyonce exhibit.
Yeah, they got to spend money
Yo.
at the museum. They got to spend money on an Uber or a taxi, money on an airplane ticket. They got to spend money eating.
I'm totally on board with how you talking
So
right
then
now.
that's more tax funding into your city. Maybe then we go fix the potholes. Maybe then we fix some of the
Yo.
infrastructure. Everyone that wants to get paid more here, you're welcome. We invested in art. People travel for art and nature. Okay, that's
there's
why
a
they
lot of
try
nature shit around here.
travel for not. Yeah, but we don't even uplift any of it.
Yeah, that's
The
true,
one
man.
nature feature we really got is the bayou. Does anyone want to go to the bayou right now? Nah, they talking about a serial killer because they finding bodies in the bayou.
Bodies in that bayou. Man, y'all need
So
to go to
look.
the woods. There's trails and bike ramps and everything.
There's
in
a
the
ton
woods.
of stuff to do.
Yeah.
And
Forest.
even around Houston too.
Yeah.
But I feel like this city doesn't invest in like its artists like it could. You know what I mean? And you're talking about like, again, cultural trendsetters, you know?
Yeah.
Meg Thee Stallion,
don't know
Beyonce,
what's making a
Lizzo,
buzz.
Toby
It
Nwigwe.
would be nice to see if people. It would be nice for motherfuckers to go scout out and see what makes a buzz, because there've been shit around here for way too long that hasn't, that hasn't gotten this recognition and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, they've been doing this. They've been doing this. Why don't y'all promote this? And I came to Texas knowing that Texas. People from Houston themselves, they really are about. It's a culture of community. Just because, like, when they fuck with something, they fuck with something, and it is just like swangers, just like screw music, just like drink. It has been that. It has not.
Dude, I'd love a
changed.
a giant statue of a styrofoam cup of drink.
Come on.
Telling people to slow down when they drive. You feel me? Like,
See,
embrace it, bro.
At first, usually when you start saying something, I'm like, well, hold on, we don't want to promote the drugs. But then when you say shit like that, Amir, you're like, slow down, motherfucker. We need to go ahead and save these children. You're driving too fast. It's like, God damn it, that is good.
Dude,
That is
keep it
really
light.
good.
You know what I mean? Keep
It's
it light.
really
Make
good.
people notice it. Make people think about it. Turn a negative into a positive. You know what I mean? Celebrate your individuality and
You definitely got
diversity
something.
as a city,
You
man.
are something special, sir.
Dude, this place is something special. Be able to live here, create
Yeah.
here, work here. And so I just want to see it like, I think it could be a cultural mecca. You know why people only visit Eiffel Tower? We can't build something better than that here?
Yeah.
Something architecturally and culturally more significant.
They just put a swinger and flip it the other way, and now you got the swinger tower. To where you
The
got
Swinger Tower
Yeah.
is a building?
Yeah. You take a swing and just flip that bitch, and now you got. You got the serious. I'm like, that could be a real thing. That could be fire, man. I want to think how you think. That's awesome.
But they want to give all our money to the police. So that's where
They're
it's going to go.
assholes.
That's where it's going to go,
They
man.
are assholes.
They just going to police us into oblivion, bro.
Oh, they're terrible.
That's it.
Just so
That's
many
it.
of them.
That's
There's
where the
so many
money
of them.
goes. That's
It's like y'all got some nice cars. It just seems like y'all get paid to ride around.
Why is one cop driving a Tahoe? Make it make sense.
Yeah.
You're going to spend all that gas money?
Yo, a lot, and they all nice. They all nice, big bodies.
What
I'm
do you
like,
need it
Jesus.
for? Oh, we might arrest. How many people you arresting need a whole Tahoe?
Right, you don't even have the dogs back there. What is all this space for?
Why am I
How many
paying
people are
gas
you picking
money?
up? How many people are you picking
Who are
up?
you gonna chase down in that thing? It's not like it's mobile or nothing like that.
Them motherfuckers be fast though. Oh my God, they so fast.
Man, you
And
could
that's
put
what
them in a car.
You could. I don't understand why they're not in a car. I seen the high-speed
Turbocharged
chase.
6-cylinder.
There was at least 10 squad constables. They were all in the fucking big SUV chasing down a Hyundai Sonata. It had to be like an old Sonata. I thought it was an Ionic. It wasn't that. It was like a Sonata or some shit like that. And I was like, God damn, the Sonata going fast. But also, there was like 10 squad cars and they're all the big SUVs and then one cop car. And one motorbike. I was like, what does he do here? Like, why do you have the motorbike cop? The bike cop doesn't need to be here. And also, why is he last? He last. He's the last person. Well, you can't keep up with these.
And here's the thing: if there are like 10 of those cars chasing you, why can't they be cars? It's not like you need the space.
That's true.
You got all these other cars you could throw people in, so you're gonna send
Sure.
10 out anyway.
Yeah.
Why does one person
Everybody
need a
get their
giant
one.
SUV
Everybody get their one.
just sitting there with the engine running?
Yeah, they just sit there.
You ever fill up a V8?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thing
Oh, yeah.
drinking.
It does.
Gas.
Yeah.
That's
but they have
tax
those
money.
little-
You want money back? Drive energy efficient cars. Y'all gonna be able to pay yourselves. They never think about it like that.
No.
Oh, we gonna have to
They
cut.
got their
No,
own gas
man, buy
stations.
cheaper cars.
They got their own gas stations. I know New Orleans, they got their own spot where they pump gas, and it's like an abandoned gas station, but it's just free gas for cops.
The hell? They
It's
don't even
like,
pay
alright.
for the gas. Who pays for that? Exactly.
Taxpayer.
You think they getting free gas? Someone bought it.
Someone is
Goddamn, we're
buying
putting
it.
free gas in the V8s. Are you kidding me? Wait.
free gas.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to move cities after this podcast.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is good. Hey, I love it, dude. We've had a great time. Now
Hell yeah.
we finally get to the game of choices, and then I get to go ahead and show you how my rolls.
Okay.
But yeah, a game of choices. Just to go ahead and break up the
Game of
monotony of
choices.
everything. Yeah. Since it's your first time being on here,
Yeah.
I usually do this with first comers. A game of choices. You got 4 options and 4 choices. And all right, and so you got to be one, you got to raise one, you got to sell one, and you got to have relations with the other one. All right, be one, raise one, sell one, relations with the other one. And your choices are a mermaid, a mogwai, a Mexican, and a manatee. Be one, raise one, sell one, relations with the other.
And the examples are
Mermaid,
okay.
mogwai, Mexican, and a manatee.
What's number 2? Is there a
Mogwai's Gizmo from Gremlins. You remember Gremlins? The movie Gremlins? Gizmo?
I gotta look this
Okay.
up, man.
I usually have it on hand. Gizmo.
That's a dangerous question, dude.
Everybody usually has their own little
What?
fingerprint. Mogwai. Oh no, just put Gizmo in it because Mogwai might be hard. Mogwai. You see it? It
Oh,
is-
okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know this guy.
That's
So we're gonna go through it again. We
Yeah,
got
yeah.
mermaid,
Mogwai.
gizmo.
Yeah, a Mexican and a manatee. Be one, raise one, sell one, relations with the other one.
Okay. When you say relations,
Yeah.
you mean like
Fucking.
okay.
Yeah. I just try to be nice with it. In the beginning, I used to just go full force, and I'm like, we can change this out a little bit. So, relations, any type of relations.
one?
Be one of them. Mm-hmm. Raise one of them.
Okay.
Okay, I see the wheels turning. What you got?
So I would be a mermaid.
Okay, all right. Jason Momoa's a mermaid. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what are
There you go. Be one, raise one. You raise a Mogwai, Mogwai Mexican manatee. Raise one, sell one, relations, whichever one.
So I pick my B one.
Okay, You gonna be a mermaid. You gonna
Hold on. Rewind.
I see you thinking.
I would be a Mexican.
Okay, all right. I see you. I see where you're going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be a Mexican.
Yeah.
I would raise
Uh-huh.
a manatee.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I like it. Saving the endangered species. I love it.
I
love what
would
you're doing.
sell a gizmo.
All right, get rid of that. Put them on the black market. Make your money. Boom. Retire. Have a good life.
In the process of raising the manatee, I would fall in love with the mermaid.
There
You
it is.
see it? You see it?
There it is.
Okay. And Gizmo probably gonna get me a
He's
lot
so-
of money,
You're
dude.
so strategic.
Because he kind of looked like a chihuahua. So I'm gonna be on the right part of that.
Yeah. That was dope.
So,
That was
and then-
strategy
And the
right
Mexican people, bro, they got it good, man.
Very
I'm be
resilient.
eating
Yeah.
good, dude. I'm be eating good my whole life. What you even talking about?
That's good.
Hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah! That is perfect.
That's
That is
pretty good.
That is a clean slate right there.
Nice
It's
little
like, this
story
is,
arc, right?
Yeah, that's it. Then boom, because I'm raising this manatee, I'm gonna have a well relationship.
Yeah, because someone gotta. I can't just. I'm on land, so I can only raise the manatee so
Yeah.
much. If I'm be raising manatees,
Boom, right.
I need
got my
someone
wife.
on the
Yeah,
seaside.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
yeah.
I can literally draw this story.
And then I gotta sell Gizmo. He gonna cause too much trouble.
Yeah, of course. Because if he gets wet and stuff, you can't be handling that. No, we don't need no parts of this.
We gotta get rid of him. He's someone else's problem.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh,
Okay.
oh, that's good.
Cool.
Oh, fuck. Well, let everybody know where they can find you at, Amir.
So y'all gonna find me at my individual Instagram, East Down and Brown,
It's such a good name.
or what? Danny McBride, kind of
Yeah,
like an
I know.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
In a way.
I love Danny McBride.
Dude,
Anything that he
Righteous
touches.
Gemstone.
Oh, it's my favorite. It's the one thing I still bond over with me and the missus. Oh, that is just to take religion and just twist it on his ass like that. Oh my goodness.
He lift the veil for sure.
Oh,
For sure.
him, Adam Devine, everybody.
Oh my God.
John Goodman. What
Dude.
are we doing?
How is he still this good?
So good.
I mean, he been
he been in for a minute
to be that good for that long.
Yeah. Yes. But yes, East Down
And Brown, or you can follow the poetry page for right about now at WAN Poetry
Boom.
on anything. WANpoetry.com.
anything.
We're coming to more cities near you. You can catch us
That's wild,
in
too.
Las
Oh.
Vegas, New Orleans, New York, Chicago, DC, Baltimore. We just did Denver. We're adding more cities, y'all. So
Crazy.
you're about to be able to see right about now poetry, more places. And of course, we're always going to be here right here in Houston.
Hell yeah.
We got 2 shows a week, every Tuesday, every Wednesday.
2.
Y'all, they literally fly in
Come
other
on.
states from all around the country to go see this show. Do not miss it when it's in your own city. You know what I
Don't miss
mean?
it. Yes, sir. Yo, out here killing the game. Shout out to Obi West too. He's in Vegas. I meant to tell Zach that. I forgot. Who
Oh, yeah. Shout out to
he
Obi
does
for sure,
He does
man.
a residency
Super
in Vegas. I was
talented.
like, how the fuck do
Oh,
you do
wow.
a residency in Vegas for poetry? It's because his poetry is amazing. So, yes, definitely, man. Check out Juan. Definitely check out Amir, and he's just everything that this guy has made. Anything that he touches, he's got the Midas touch. You see how he just comes out with ideas, and it's like, oh, bitch, that could be $1 million. Yes, okay. So, until next time, y'all know what this is. Tell me a joke, the guideline of chasing the dream. I have been your host of Maniacal, Menace, Kyle Smith. Say the whole thing like a pimp named Slickback, and until we see you again, keep dreaming, jokers. Woohoo!